Okay, so John Bolton was on CNN, and Jake Tapper. I hope I can play this on YouTube. I really do. I'm a little nervous that the mainstream news picked this up, so I'm hoping I can fly under their cover. But they're talking about January 6th, and Jake Tapper says that you don't have to be brilliant to attempt a coup. And John Bolton goes, I disagree with that. As somebody who has helped plan coup d'etat, not here, but other places, it takes a lot of work. So, all right, Robert, let me know if you can't hear this. Let's listen for a minute.
Group of misfits with like Michael Flynn and Sidney Powell. Is he just not capable of hearing no?
Well, when it comes to his personal advantage, the answer is he doesn't listen to anybody else. But I think it's also important to understand, while nothing Donald Trump did after the election in connection with the lie about the election fraud, none of it is defensible. None of it is defensible. It's also a mistake, as some people have said, including on the committee, the commentators, that somehow this was a carefully planned coup d'etat aimed at the Constitution. That's not the way Donald Trump does things. It's rambling from one half-vast idea to another, one plan that falls through and another comes up. That's what he was doing. As I say, none of it defensible. But you have to understand the nature of what the problem of Donald Trump is. He's, to use a Star Wars metaphor, a disturbance in the force. And it's not an attack on our democracy. It's Donald Trump looking out for Donald Trump. It's a once-in-a-lifetime occurrence.
I don't know that I agree with you. To be fair, with all due respect, one doesn't have to be brilliant to attempt a coup.
I disagree with that. As somebody who has helped plan coup d'etat, not here, but other places, it takes a lot of work, and that's not what he did. It was just stumbling around from one idea to another.
We'll watch more anytime. Yeah, please go ahead.
I mean, this is going to go into so many documentaries and other things. It's going to be one of those seminal moments. It's going to say when the U.S. government, powerful official that had been in and out of government tremendously throughout his entire career and tenure, publicly admitted on a mainstream liberal American news network that, in fact, America regularly, routinely engages in plans and conducts coup d'etats. Now, this has been known by anybody with an objectively honest view of American foreign policy, particularly since World War II. But, it's extraordinary to see it admitted. But this does reaffirm my hypothesis as to why. You can see he's got Bolton's always been a very arrogant guy. It's what all these guys have in common. Trump never should have had him in. It's a shame on Sean Hannity that Sean Hannity promoted him. It should tell everybody who Sean Hannity really is. Not a reliable, trustworthy voice. There's a reason why he likes to wear his little CIA pin frequently when he's broadcasting. But what happened is Tapper just insulted him. And he couldn't handle the insult, and that's why he blurted it out. No, it takes hard work to plan coups. You have to be really smart to do a coup. I'm John Bolton, and I've been doing them for decades.
Yeah, no, I think that's so spot on. I'll give Jake Tapper a little bit of credit that he didn't just stop there. He pushed a little bit. So let's hear how the rest of the interview in this section went.
Ultimately, he did unleash the rioters at the Capitol. As to that, there's no doubt. But not to overthrow the Constitution, to buy more time to throw the matter back to the states to try and redo the issue. And if you don't believe that, you're going to overreact. And I think that's a real risk for the committee, which has done a lot of good work, mostly when the witnesses testify, not when the members are opining. It is invariably the case that when you go too far trying to prove your case, you undermine it. And I think you got to give credit to the intelligence of the American people to listen to the witnesses and let them come to the conclusion. And I think the fellow who had actually gone into the Capitol, who said today that he had blinders on and he was too loyal to one person, that is the central point.
Yeah, no, it's something, and it was, as I think Laura Coates said, or somebody said earlier, an offering for a lot of.
I thought this clip had the place where he starts talking about Venezuela. Oh, well. Anyway, is it just me, or is it like what he's saying is it's kind of like the mainstream media circus mirror type thing where it's like he's like if it's not, if we do it, it's okay, like we do it the right way. And really my issue here is that you're just a bumbling idiot and you just don't know how to do it right. I don't know. I mean, that's
Yeah,
what
I mean, yeah,
like,
there's aspects of that. I mean, CNN is as fake as that green screen is, pretending they're sitting in the middle of Congress. The whole media institutional dynamic of this sort of rules-based order. We're seeing it in the Russia-Ukraine conflict. There's a reason why almost nobody in the rest of the world outside of the West has joined the U.S. On the issue of Russia's Ukraine conflict. And it's because of decades and decades of brazen hypocrisy. Like here, they're saying, "Oh, it's a terrible, horrible thing if for Trump to have challenged the election, or to involve, have foreign involvement in an election, whatever the allegation of the day is." When we have done that ourselves routinely and repeatedly, and they celebrate it. I mean, like here, he doesn't say, "Oh, it's bad that we've overthrown democracies around the globe. We've done coup d'etats around the globe," because purportedly that's what is so offensive here, is that Trump was attacking democracy. And what they mean by democracy is their rule. That's what they really mean. They don't mean democracy. They don't mean the people's rule. They don't mean constitutional rule. That's all gibberish. They mean their rule. And that's revealed by the otherwise glaring hypocrisies and inconsistencies on their policies. I mean, Jake Tapper's been a political hack for forever, and he has deep ties to the intelligence community. He's basically should just rename himself Deep State spokesperson. And that was revealed by that he had no shock reaction there. I mean, remember like the CNN lady who got really mad because Clay Travis said the only two things he believed in was the First Amendment and boobs? And she was like, "Oh my God, but look at this. Here's a guy saying, 'Hey, I do coup d'etats all the time.'" And Jake Tapper's like, yeah, okay. Well, yeah, that's normal. I mean, that's a sad state of affairs in American institutions of power.
well, I was going to show what NBC had for the rest of the conversation, because at least he said, so, all right, so pressed about the coups, he said he has planned. Bolton cited an unsuccessful attempt to remove Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, but declined to provide further details. Tapper said, "I feel like there's other stuff you're not telling me." And Bolton says, "I'm sure there is." I know. I mean, I guess my bar is really low to say I give him credit, but at least he followed up with some question. So, then they go on and talk about it.
Well,
I don't know.
He didn't come up with it. You'd know this as a reporter. He didn't instinctively say that. So how much you want to bet somebody whispered in his ear, you need to follow up on that coup comment? And but Tapper was like, yeah, I get what you're saying. And someone probably whispered in his ear, hey, we got to look, we got to ask. Oh, yeah. Oh, what do you mean by that? No. And the guys like Tapper, the little Dartmouth grads, they love to be near the intelligence apparatus. They love to hang out off the record at the bar in the cellar of the great Hay Adams Hotel in D.C. and be near the intelligence people. I mean, that's where Jean Le Carré's mocking of the intelligence community is so useful, because these people are John Boltons of the world. If you want to understand why is the whole West imploding in part, particularly Europe, where the euro's now at the same rate as the dollar. I wish that was the case every time I went to Europe. It was as high as $1.50, $1.60. Is because John Boltons of the world run American and Western foreign policy. And these guys are the most incompetent people on the planet. They're ego-driven, they're not intelligent, and they have no moral compass. They're Kissinger without the IQ. They're basically Kissinger's mentally damaged little brother. That's who John Bolton is. And we got to see a live demonstration of it.
I was shocked when I saw that, and I'm curious what he's thinking now. Is he's just like, what did I say? I mean, a lot of the stuff that comes out of the mouths of these people, I'm sitting here shocked, but they're not. And so then I'm sitting there trying to understand, why are they not shocked? And I can only come up with a couple options, which is like, they just don't think what they're doing is bad. So they don't mind your knowing. I mean, they just, well, yeah, of course we have to have coup d'etats because we're saving the liberal world order. I mean, what else do you guys want us to do? That's what you elected us to do. I mean, we're saving you from yourselves. It's like, that's one option. They're showing you their cards because they feel like they're proud of them. They're not embarrassed like we are of it. And, or there's like some greater, more sinister plan in telling us that this is going on to distract from something else. I don't know, but I tend to think the former. They just are true believers in what they're doing, and they just don't think there's anything wrong.
Especially with Bolton, that describes his whole career.